Good afternoon, Dan Wood with Northern Sun Mercantile. In this video, we're following up on the batch of cider that I pressed back on October 31st. We're going to taste some, we're going to bottle some, we're going to see how it is. I'm going to take you through all the steps that are required in doing this, so you can do it for yourself, from sanitization right on through to bottling. If you haven't watched the previous video, you can check that out right up here. Thanks for watching. So I start with washing everything with soap and water, hot soap and water. Scrub it with a bottle brush, get all the bottles nice and clean. These have all been cleaned and sanitized. I use Star San, which is primarily used for brewing. At least that's my experience with it. It might have other purposes too. Works really well. It's a no rinse sanitizer. Mix it up according to the directions. Put a little bit in the bottle, I swish it around, dump it out, and then that's all you have to do. As long as they're clean going into it, you know, like I said, you want to wash them first with hot soap and water, and then sanitize. I even sanitize the caps. These have all been dunked in sanitizer solution. I sanitize the capper. I've got a few champagne style bottles here, which will be corked with a wine bottle corker, which is what I use. When you cork with a wine bottle corker, you can't set the cork all the way. You want to leave it out about an inch so you can twist it and pull it out. They get wire bales twisted, and I'll show how that's done. I've only got two of that style bottle here. The rest of them will be a 12-ounce beer bottle. So to get started, we first have to open up our bucket, get this lid off. I have it elevated because with an auto siphon, which is what this contraption is, it works better if the bucket is up higher, and I'll show how that works. Get your lid off. And first things first, we're gonna taste a little bit, see how it is. This auto siphon clips right to the side of the bucket, makes it a little easier. So I'll make sure that it stays deep enough. These bottling wands shut off, which is nice. Got a little spring in here, so when you're done filling whatever you're going to fill, you just pull up on it and it shuts off. So I'll just lay that to the side for a minute. And cheers. That is very good. Still tastes like apples. Little on the dry side, but still has a little bit of sweetness to it. That is delicious. In my experience, this gets better with some age too. So especially with these champagne style or Belgian beer bottles, I'm just going to cork these and I'm going to put them on the shelf and just let them sit for a while. Bring them out for a special occasion, and or give them as gifts. They make great gifts. This is all, by the way, nothing here. We're not selling anything here. This is all for personal consumption. So yeah, let's get on with it. That is some of the best cider that I've ever had. Delicious. Well, let's get to bottling some. I've got, I don't know, 50-something 12-ounce bottles ready to fill. There's about 5 gallons in this bucket, so there's quite a bit there. I'm going to do the Belgian bottles first. I do want these to be carbonated. Actually, I may carbonate all of them. I use these carbonation drops, which are a pre-measured amount of sugar the yeast that's naturally in the cider will eat the sugar and turn it to carbonation. The off-gassing will turn that to carbonation. These will be nice and bubbly once they're finished. It does take a week or so for that to happen. So the ones I'm carbonating will just go on the shelf, and I won't touch them for a little bit. And they should be nice and sparkling and very refreshing. It's even better once the little carbonation is added. So I'm just going to put one of these. Actually, the directions on this call for 2 for a 750 milliliter bottle, so we're putting 2 in these. And 1 in a 12-ounce bottle. Just kind of pre-dose them like that. You want to check them once in a while. Like if you have a bunch of these done up, you don't want them to be over carbonated. So maybe pop one in a week and just see how it is, see if it's finished. So an auto siphon is really, once it's primed, which is what do you do when you pump that wand, it primes the tube. And this is all right now is right full of cider. There's a little spring in the end of the bottling wand which shuts off the flow. But it's ready to go again as soon as it presses down to the bottom, which we're doing right now, and they're filling up. And you just gotta watch that level. You want to bring them up. I usually leave them about an inch down from the top. It helps if you drop them down a little bit, even a little more. Now, if you like Belgian beer like I do, and you're into brewing, or you want to get into brewing, save these bottles because these things are like gold. I tend to give them away as gifts quite often, which is a good thing and a bad thing because they look pretty, but means I don't have a lot of them. Have some more cider. That is so good. I usually fill it right to the top with these beer bottles, and then release the wand, and it puts the just at the right level. It's about 2 inches down from the neck, from the very top of the mouth of the bottle. Really, there's not a lot to brewing, and you can really save yourself a lot of money by doing this. And these were wild apples, and I mixed them with some drops. They were all pretty bruised up, which make really good cider. Wild apples, though, you don't have a lot of control over the sweetness, so you got to kind of mix in maybe some sweeter, more bruised apples. But this is definitely one of my favorite batches yet. I got one more big bottle here to fill. And you just want to keep an eye on the level in the bucket and make sure your siphon tip is down below the water line or the liquid line, because if it grabs air, it'll stop siphoning. Sometimes you got to stop and adjust that. So this particular style bottle, it's an old school bottle, got a stopper built right into it. So that one's done. And these, we'll do the beer bottles first. These cappers work great. Essentially, there's a magnet in there, and you just sit that down on top of the bottle, just like that, and then you just squeeze these in, and it's crimped. And that one's ready for the storage. Or you do want to not put these in the refrigerator right away. You'll want this to be at room temperature. Yeast does not work well when it's cold. So the yeast in here will eat that sugar cube that I put in there and convert that over to CO2, which is what gives it the carbonation. It won't work if it's refrigerated. It'll take a lot longer to work. It probably would eventually work, but you want to leave these out for a while. Every once in a while you get a bad crimp and you got to redo it, but as long as you're careful in placing these on the bottle, they tend to work pretty good. Actually, you can do that too, and you can actually put them right on the bottle. You just got to be careful the magnet doesn't pull it up. Sometimes it does. So make sure you get a really good crimp on them. And if you're carbonating anything, you want to make sure you have a crimp top or a cork and a bail, or a cork and a mechanical bail like this. Because if you just use a regular wine bottle with that, the carbonation would actually blow that cork right out. All right, and there's six hard ciders. Now we'll go ahead and cork the Belgian style bottles. This is a wine corker, which isn't really made for a champagne style cork, but I have found that it works. It works really hard, so you got to be kind of careful. But basically, you insert the cork in there. There's a plunger that will go down, and it'll push it in. But you don't want to push them in too far if you're using a wine corker for this. This sits on the bottle. The arms come down to the neck. Starts to push the cork down. It does take a little bit of pressure to get these champagne corks through this. You just want to be careful that you don't break the bottle. It's hard to adjust the depth too, but you want it about like that. And it does help if they've got a little bit of sanitizer on them so they're wet when they go in. Kind of helps lubricate it so it slides right in there. And we'll load the cork in. Get it started. And this one, I just re-dip this in sanitizer. And you'll feel when it starts to go into the neck of the bottle. And it's easy to get them too far. Sometimes you can actually take a look and see where it's at in the neck. Wouldn't want to do a lot of them this way, but it works for a few. There, that's just about perfect, like that. And now what we do, got these wire hoops that go on. You just want to make sure it's under the neck of the bottle, right here under that rim, so that there's no way this cork can blow out of there. And then you just twist it up really good. I usually just fold it up like that, and you have a nice gift for somebody or yourself, because it's just that good. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this content, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Until next time, cheers and have a great night.